Welcome to the Red Button Podcast, the only podcast where a teenager gives you life advice. I still need to change that, but I can't really be arsed, I'm not gonna lie. The red button has been pressed, and basically that means, as per usual, the show goes on. Whatever's said just gets put in the video, in the podcast, in the whatever. And that's just how it works. If I fuck up, if I die at any point, there you go. There you know. So yeah. Got 3 topics today. I don't know how long it's going to be. Probably not longer than 45 minutes. Probably just over half an hour. Maybe just under. I don't know. These each take about 10 minutes, I'd say. But we're going to start off. So the 3 topics that we've got today. We're going to be talking about 2020 so far, and how shit January was, and how decent February's been. Bit of me personally, bit of everything, bit of life in general. And we're gonna talk about the Parasite film, which I went to see on Wednesday. Yeah, this Wednesday. Which I will try not to spoil. I don't think there is really that much to spoil, but I'll stray away from it. I'll just mainly talk about what it was about and how good it was and why you should fucking watch it, because it deserves the awards it got, and a bit of controversy with Donald Trump, if I can remember that. And then the final topic, I've labelled media as a bit messed up in it. And I basically just was looking through, as I normally do whenever I write these podcasts. I think of topics come to mind. If none come to mind, I browse. I just basically search up news and just go in the news section of Google and just scroll through there. So I Parasite's on here, and basically I was just thinking, media is just corrupted these days. I'm pretty sure everyone knows it, but no one really opens their eyes to it. But that's at the end. So, excuse me, I did eat like half an hour ago. Probably not the best time to do it, but well, show goes on. So today we're going to start off with 2020. So 2020 for me has been, I think, a mental reset. And we're only 2 months in, right? Yeah, only 2 months in, near the end of February now, and it's been interesting. A lot of things have changed. A lot of things have happened. So. Well, let's go to the start. So, January. I started off January. Well, we all know how January started off. People died. There was Iran. That wasn't good. Then the coronavirus came around. I swear some terror attack happened. Something not very nice happened as well. So it wasn't the best of years, which is a shame. It is a shame. That's a month, even not years. But as I said, it is a shame. But I think February has been a good month. Maybe not to start with. It didn't seem like it would be, but I think in the long run, even it did. So basically, if you were aware, if you listened to my first podcast, sorry, I'm yawning. I'm literally laying in bed right now. Like, I am full on laying in bed. So. Excuse me. So if you watch the first episode of the podcast, I don't think I mentioned in the second episode, but the very start of February, very end of January, literally, it's been the 1st of Feb, I think it was, or maybe the last day of January, my girlfriend broke up with me, and, as anything, that was pretty shit, but I think that helped more than anything in my life. I think, not that I did the breaking up, but I feel like, as well, I was watching Noel Gallagher, I was watching him more Hot Ones. I don't know, he just came from a recommended, and I haven't watched it. I watched quite a bit of these Hot Ones, and it was the sort of thing that he was saying that I sort of understood a bit, and I could link it to my own story, and he was saying how bands that stick together for more than 30 years don't actually like each other and are just sticking together because they they don't know how to do their own thing, or they don't want to sort of like break this secure thing that they have to go and be a solo artist, because obviously it doesn't work out for everyone, which I sort of understood. And sorry. And basically I linked it into, I was with this girl and I didn't want to break up with her because I felt like I didn't really know where to go from there, and I hadn't really been anywhere else apart from around this person for like the past 2.5 years. So obviously it hadn't been the best, and I sort of knew it was coming to an end long before it did. And I think that was quite good because it gave me time to prepare to get over it. And I wasn't like searching my options on like fucking online or something like that. Like, do you like me while still dating her? But I could see it was coming to an end, and I was like, okay, I think this time it's not going to be how it has been in the past. And when I break up with them, I'm going to go straight back to them. But I'm going to just move on. And move on I have done. It was quite hard to start with. I did start speaking to her again almost straight away. Like, I gave it a day, and then I was like, okay, I need to speak to her. Talked over for about a week, and then it's just sort of gone to the stage where I realised I don't need her anymore, which is nice. And then in February, I'm trying to think what day it was. In February, it was a week after we broke up. My ex, I went to his party. I met this other girl, and she was like really nice, and I've been speaking to her ever since, and it's gone well so far. Like, and I wasn't too sure to start with how I'd like go around it, because I didn't want to feel like I'd just jump onto her as like a safety net almost. And I think I needed a bit of time to sort of like think, am I doing this the right thing? Am I, is this a decision I want to commit to and make? Because I'm not a sort of person that's like, well, I'll go out with you just to try it, and then I'll see. But because I go out with someone when I feel it's right, and I go out with someone knowing it's the right decision. I don't want to go out with someone and just be like, well, fuck it, we'll see what happens. So it took a few weeks, but yesterday we asked each other out pretty much. Well, it's sort of, we both knew we liked each other, and I sort of said, I am ready to move on at some point. It's just I need a bit of a break, which is understandable. And yeah, I think February's just been such a good time for me, because even at the start of February, I was like on the verge of death. No, that makes it sound a bit more extreme than it was, but like I wasn't very happy. Recently, I've been fucking loving it. I have got GCSEs coming up, which my parents haven't been the best with revision for. Like, sorry, my throat's. I quite like the sound of my throat when I'm ill, but it hurts a bit. Like, for example, so revision. Bear in mind GCSEs, which is like just end of year exams for you American people. It's almost like finals. It's weird. We have two sets of finals. We have GCSEs and A levels, but let's just call it equivalent to finals. I've got those coming up in 3 months, and my parents are making me do so. Basically, my parents are making me do 2 hours of revision every day, saying it's the holidays. I've got this week off. And so that's 14 hours a week. No, it was like 18 or something, because I've got 2 weekends and then 5 days off. So it's not nice, but I don't see a real issue with it. The only issue I do see with it is all my mates are doing like sub 1.5 hours or 1.5 hours dead, and was it 2 days ago I did an hour and a half, and my dad shouted at me because I'm not doing enough work and I'm not putting the effort in. So then yesterday, the day after, I was like, okay, I'll do 2 hours because he said to do 2 hours. So I did 2 hours, and then he complained to me again for only doing 2 hours. He says it's 2 hours at a minimum. It's really annoying, and it's just really stressful. And then they basically tell me off for not doing anything like independently, which isn't nice. But because after 2 hours of revision, I don't really think many people are like, yeah, I'm going to do another hour by myself. It's just stupid. Um, but yeah, it's a very middle class issue. I'm very grateful for where I am in life. I'm grateful that I can go to school. I'm grateful that I can walk down a street and not feel threatened. So I'm happy where I am, and I'm very grateful for all that. But everyone has their issues, even if you're the most successful person, even if you're Jeff Bezos or fucking The Rock. Everyone's got their issues. Everyone's got their problems, and the severity may change. But humans can't help but complain, can you? You know, even when you're the happiest you can be, you still got issues on your mind. But that's life. And February's just been that good refresher for me, just to sort of open my eyes and think, you know what? These people I've been spending time with the past few years, I don't need them really in my life, and I can move on without them interfering, and I'm happy with that. And I'm probably a lot happier than I have been the past few years. Because I just felt like I was in a really shit relationship, and even though it does feel like, if I was to tell you, well, I broke up with this girl, a week later I was on with another one, like, it does seem a bit scummy and a bit like I'm rushing, but that's the thing, I didn't want to rush, I didn't want to make it seem like a heat of the moment sort of thing, which it wasn't, I thought, oh shit, sorry. I thought about it over many days, and it got to the stage I was like, you know what, I spent enough time with her to know her well enough where I know I'm not making a wrong decision here, and well, it worked out. So yeah, that was this month. So it's been a good month. It's been a good month. I'm just ready to get GCSEs over and done with and enjoy my life a bit more. Because this summer, I mean, I say I'm going to be productive, all shit. I want to be really productive. Like, this holiday, well, I won't say I've been lazy, but like, I just haven't worked as much as I'd like to have. And with YouTube, so I haven't uploaded a single YouTube video in like the past week and a half, and I'm trying to get one up by Saturday. But saying that, it's Friday now, and I haven't done anything, which isn't the best. But I'm going to try to do that. I'm going to try to do something, and I'm also going to try and set up the Red Button podcast YouTube channel, because on SoundCloud, as good as it is, you get limited storage. On YouTube, you do not. So I'm going to have an independent YouTube channel just for the podcast. I'm going to try and do it weekly, because I can easily find half an hour by myself just to speak about things. Like, unlike YouTube, when I have to set up everything, I literally, with this, turn my phone on, get an app on, and just lay in my bed, put some soft things around it so it insulates it a bit, and doesn't make it sound all crackly. And it goes pretty well. I mean, it sounds a lot better than my other microphone was, which is nice. I've got a dressing, so describe my current situation. I'm lying in bed. You are resting on my teddy. It's quite a big one. And I'm wearing a dressing gown. Laying in bed, living my best life. Yeah. So I'm going to move on to the film Parasite now. And as I said earlier, I'm going to try to do this without any spoilers whatsoever. And if I do, I can only apologise. But I feel like you should really go and watch it, because it's just such a good fucking film. It's honestly really well deserved Oscars, what it got. And I don't know, it's just such a, when you watch a film and you just sit there afterwards just thinking, bloody hell, that was a good film. And it just leaves a real, like, mental oomph on you. That's basically what this film was for me. It was such a good depiction of what life is like in Korea, I feel, and it shows you the horrors well enough, and it can really easily lead you in the right direction of what it wants to do. The basic premise, I'll give it without spoiling it. There's this rich family, there's this poor family. The poor family, basically one of the the son of the poor family has a mate who works for this rich family as like an English tutor. But because he's going off to college, he offers his poor mate the job, and as a recommendation, because the rich woman's quite thick, not in that way, as in dumb. But basically, so he gets the job, and then there's this son who's got an art teacher. So there's a rich daughter that gets the English lessons, and then the rich son that needs art lessons, and basically they all somehow interweave themselves into the family and get jobs as like the maids, the four of them, but they don't just tell each other that they're related, and they don't know that they're family. Just think like, oh, a friend of a friend, or my sister knew this person, sort of thing. So it's a really good film, and then some other things happen that's really like, it's sort of like, oh, this is quite a nice little film. It's quite cute, but then it gets weird, but also quite mesmerizing at the same time. It's like, holy shit, you are making me poo myself in the middle of a fucking cinema right here. And as I said earlier, it can lead your emotions really well, and that's something I would credit that for to the end of fucking time. It wants you to make, if you want to be scared, it can make you scared like that. If it wants to make you happy, it can make you do it like that. And there's a time in it where it's like a party, so it's this rich son's party, and it basically is such a weird wave of like happy, sad, scared, oh my fucking god, and then it almost takes a turn to the happy but sad, like almost like melancholy side again, and it's just like, how the fuck did you do that so easily? I'm literally like on the verge of tears here, shaking. And it's just such a good film. So if you haven't watched it, I swear, go see this film, like, right now. It's only in limited viewing, because obviously it's a Korean film. It's not really like it's not necessarily supposed to be for cinemas as much as English cinemas as much, but there's definitely some showings you can find of it, and I would 100% watch it. It's such a good film, and it's so worth it that you will not regret it. You will not regret the £8 that you spent on it. Honestly, I think it's a £5 where I went, so you'll not regret the £5 you spent on watching it. It's such a good film. I might even get it on DVD. I know, right? DVD. I might even get it. If I see it, I'm gonna get it. It's just that good of a film. Where else was I going then? So, Parasite, it's an amazing film, really. And it leaves an impact on you for days. Like, so what? It's almost 2 days afterwards. I watched it, and I can still just see it. And the cinematography of just like everything happening was just, oh. I gave it a 9.5 out of 10. So basically, on my Instagram, Bonster504, again, I'll link that in the description if I can remember. I left a review on it, and I basically said it was one of the best meaningful films of the past 5 years. Because I feel like in the past, even though we've had Endgame, we've had Infinity War, they were good films, but they were just action. There wasn't really any depth to their story. Sure, when Tony dies, spoiler alert, it's not the happiest of times ever, and obviously you have this big connection to that character, but like, still, I mean, come on, like, that's over like 10 years or 12 years of Marvel that we've had this connection to this character. So they could do that pretty easily. But when you've met a character and you've known a character for like an hour and a half, the impact, obviously, and anything that happens to them is obviously a lot larger, I felt, than it was with Tony. But it's more just, I feel like with Tony it was more sadness, because like, oh wow, he is really leaving the MCU and he's such an iconic character. But when things happen, I'm not necessarily saying they die in Parasite, but when things happen to them, it's like, holy shit, like that's fucked up. But it's really good at the same time. It's such a good film. So I would 100% recommend that to anyone. It's like a mixed genre. It's like a cocktail of genres like blended together. It's a really impactful film. So I would 100% go and watch that. Um, Now we're going to move on to a topic I'm just going to look at now because I can't remember. Oh, media, just media. Mm. This is quite a topical one, I feel, especially recently. Media has kind of gone down the drain. And what I mean by that is people just want to basically milk the shit out of anything. So this story came about, if you're American and you're unaware, the story came about, I've actually forgotten her name, I feel bad now. I accidentally paused it, shit myself. So this story came about with, a girl. Well, not necessarily a girl. Sorry if you get some bad mic quality here. I am literally browsing Instagram. Um, oh my god, I can't remember his name. Well, anyway, I'll just pretend I know her name. So it came about when this woman, who was quite a big celebrity, um, who hosted a Love Island. I think America's got a version of that now, but hosted the UK version. I'm pretty sure, and did quite a lot of other things based in media. Basically, killed herself because of the media and because of I'd say corruption, but because of just how people were acting about it. So the story basically goes that this woman was basically abused her boyfriend, but I get the impression. So basically, what the story is you know, you just get a heated argument with someone, which is completely fine after being married to them or I don't know if they're married or just spending a lot of time with them. Um, and basically, what happened was they were in a heated argument, and then she got a lamp and hit her boyfriend with a lamp, which obviously isn't nice for any boyfriend. And maybe he sustained some injuries from that. But it definitely got covered in the media a lot more than I think it should have done. And she was obviously to blame a lot more than I feel like she should have done. Again, I wasn't too involved in the story. I didn't really know it happened up until I heard that she died. Basically, I feel like the family issues. Everyone in the family, the boyfriend, were all it all sorted it out between them. But the media sort of took the story and emphasised it, and mainly a bit of a twisted one called The Sun. That's a newspaper called The Sun. Wrote many articles basically just abusing her. Like, not physically, obviously. They didn't come out to her house and knock her out, but mentally abusing her and just giving her all this shit that I feel like she didn't need. Again, as I said, if she did, then I don't think anyone deserves that. Even Hitler, even someone as like twisted as Hitler, doesn't deserve to like be completely well to feel like they have to kill themselves in order to just get out of it because of some corrupt media source. And I mean, I know it's quite an ironic thing with Hitler, um, but I feel like no one. What I'm trying to say is, no matter how bad you are, I feel like no one deserves to get completely slandered by the media. Um, just because I feel like it's unneeded, and they all just do it for clicks anyway. It's just not fun, and they do it for clicks and to basically media. What they media do, the clever people, these media people, it's almost like it's their job. Um, what they do is they target someone. So let's say they're going to target Britney Spears. Let's say Britney Spears dropped ham sandwich and didn't pick it up. So they'd be like, for us normal people, that's quite a small deal. But for the media, what they do is like they put a big headlines like Britney Spears littering crisis or something. And everyone's clicking on it thinking, what's she done here? She like dumped a fridge or something street and got fined for it. Oh no, she dropped a ham sandwich, but they do it to like create controversy. You get these things like, oh, get everyone talking about it, about Britney Spears. Everyone getting heated about Britney Spears. Like, why did you do that? Why did that sandwich? You should be grateful for that. Not everyone can get herself a sandwich or some dumb thing like that. I know I'm making like a dumb scenario up, but then they I won't say indoctrinate, but they word it in a way so that people get angry at Britney Spears for doing said thing. Not that Britney Spears has dropped a sandwich and is being covered by media, but they get everyone angry, like, why did you drop that sandwich? You should not have dropped that sandwich. And then everyone, sort of like a mob almost, goes onto Britney Spears and be like, fuck you, Britney, you smell. And people that are trying to defend Britney, being like, it's only a sandwich, they'll go into that article and be like, fucking hell, this is bullshit. Like, when the whole PewDiePie controversy happened, I don't know about you, but I was going on all these articles being like, you are just making shit up. And they want that. They don't care if you agree or disagree, they just want you clicking on the article and getting them some epic revenue. Which is nice, it's twisted as shit. Like, the BBC said they're not supposed to be opinionated politically, but you can see that they are just by looking at a few certain articles. Yeah, so it's a bit dumb. It is a bit dumb. And they just create controversy so they can make more articles on it, and then make more profit off of it. So they profit off people's pain, pretty much. It's a good world. Let's go. The person, basically, the media emphasized it. Everyone started hating on this person for abusing her boyfriend. Everyone was like giving her all this shit, and then she killed herself. And you know what that newspaper article did that had all the ones on about slandering her? That's right, they deleted it and then made another article about her passing and how sad it was when they were the cause. It's just so corrupt and so twisted, and we do nothing about it. We just sort of sit there and watch. It's fucked up. It is fucked up. But I feel like with the internet these days, well, I don't know. I feel like with the internet, everyone says the internet these days is fine. No one can get past us. Everything's way too open. But clearly, it can get to people and can overwhelm them quite a lot. Even still, because I'm sure this girl had a lot of people backing her up and saying, "Oh no, it's all right," but there's only so many. Oh, it's fine. It wasn't your fault that you can sort of that compensates for 1,000 people saying, "Stop! Why'd you abuse your boyfriend? You're a bitch. You're like a horse," sort of thing. And it's fucked up. It's a fucked up world. I don't think anyone deserves to die for anything that they did. I'm very much pro-life. Well, no, I'm pro-choice, but well, that's why not? Why not? Let's get a quick dive into that controversial topic of abortion. I'm pro-life. No, I'm pro-choice. Oh, I can't fucking hell. I'm too lazy for this. So pro-choice. I feel like the woman should be able to choose. It's the woman's baby. It's the woman's choice whether she can handle living with this child. Because I don't think a normal person wants to kill their child without a good reason. It's not just like, oh fuck it, I don't want it. I don't want the child. And even then, if you legitimately believe you don't want this child and it was merely like by accident almost that you had this child, I think it's fair enough that abortion should be allowed to take place. You don't need any sort of documentation to prove it's going to damage your future, because what happens in most cases, I'm pretty sure, not that I know of, the child, because the parents don't really love the child because they want to get rid of the child, either end up putting them up for adoption almost straight away, which makes it 100 times harder on the actual parents because they know that their child is out there, or the parents become abusive to the child, which I've known people that's happened to. It doesn't leave a good scar, doesn't leave a good mark on them. or it's just a shit relationship all about, and it's just not worth it. You know, the fetus. An unborn child does not know the difference, does not know what life or death is, does not know anything around it or what anything is. Like, can you remember a single thing from when you were inside your fucking mum? No, you cannot. Like, you're not supposed to. It's a child developing, and it's not a child developing like a toddler develops, or like a baby develops. It's a fetus legitimately growing, like you would do a fucking, what they call those, like frog spawn, or things like that, or tadpoles. It's like killing a tadpole. No, because the tadpoles are conscious. I don't even. It's like It's like killing a stuffed animal. It does not know what life is. It does not really. It probably has feeling receptors, maybe few, but it won't take long for it to die. And if it does die, then what's the worry? No, it should die. Yeah, it's an abortion. Fuck me. This is the problem with the Redbone podcast. Is why I'm doing the Redbone podcast, because I can't speak. But yeah, pro-choice. That's me. Fight me in the comments. Nah, I'm alright for you to have your own opinion, but that's just mine. And yeah, that's basically all I've got to say. I basically try to push over the half an hour mark for you guys. I was going to try and make it a good half an hour long, and here we are. So thank you very much for taking your time to listen in to this video, to this podcast, wherever you're listening to, whatever you're doing while you're listening to it. And yeah, if anyone wishes to help me try and set up this on Spotify, that'd be great, but I don't really know how to do that. So yeah. Thanks all for watching, listening, and I'll see you guys later in the next episode, or on my YouTube or Instagram, which hopefully are both in the description. Monsters 504 on both of them. So thank you, and I'll see you later. Bye bye.